along the way. 7% post surcharge. You are talking of 0.5% TLS. You are talking of comprehensive 1%, and you are talking of VAT. So when you put all things together for cars, for instance, between 2014 and today, we had an increase of minimum of 65% for cars. For new vehicles, we are talking of over 220%. And when you talk of trucks, we are talking of over 450% increase. Now, that was just on basis of exchange rate. I mean, on basis of just the duty rate. Now, when you now factor in the element of exchange rate, I mean, I talked of 155 earlier, that today we are talking of 306. So of course, but what government needs to do to give incentive to Nigerians patronizing neighboring countries to come back is to, one, reduce the rate of duty, because why in the first instance Nigerians have to go through Cotonou? It's because they perceive the cost there and they've experienced it to be cheaper. Cheaper because at the end of the day, one, of course, it's not a proper comparison, because the Nigerian routing his vehicle through Cotonou port is not paying the what I call the import clearance charges to Cotonou country. They're only paying the transit fees, and the transit fee is just a small amount of money. Of course, you bring it to the Nigerian side. When you bring it to the Nigerian side, of course, you've saved yourself from the shipping company, you've saved yourself from the terminal, you pay the duty. Of course, the duty too is been established not to be comparable to what you pay at the Nigerian seaport. Of course, why is it like that? It's like that because the process is not transparent. There is issue of manual intervention, that you have a situation where even in the port, we have cases in the port that same vehicles among different terminals pay different duty rates. So that's the more reason why government in its own interest should publish its tariff. Let people know. If the tariff is not good for us, we should go back to government and say, government, this your assumed prices of what I'm to pay duty on. It's not correct. This is the market. Because luckily today, we are talking of global village. Government through institutions can have access to open information in terms of purchase price and what they call transaction costs.
Okay.
Of course, this now makes us to say, even simplify the process, because we must acknowledge what government have done. Because I won't say they've not done anything. Customs system, for instance, is automated up to the point that it still allows manual intervention. So when it is simplified, I don't need to go through. Immediately I'm bringing my vehicle to the port. Even before arrival of the vehicle into the port, I'll pay my duty to government. Make my declaration, pay my duty. As soon as the vehicle is landing in the port, I'm taking my vehicles off the port. The only thing government representative in the port needs to do is to check if I've declared a 2015 vehicles and I'm taking a 2017 vehicle, or if I've declared a 2005 vehicle, whereas I'm taking a 2010 vehicle. Of course, there are other issues of security in terms of arms, in terms of drugs that are being, because we must recognize it's our own collective interest to see that there are other challenges along this line.
The introduction of certain taxes by shipping companies and all of that, he mentioned that as well. I wondered, because you are the expert on maritime, I wonder you to clarify some of these things. The laws need to be updated. There needs to be more clarity in terms of charges that are applicable to each group. Yes. Because he talked about a government/port tax. Which one is that one again?
Well, I wouldn't know what he meant.
Okay.
I wouldn't know what he meant by, because I don't think there is a port tax. Perhaps he's talking of
no, he said that's from the shipping companies.
From the shipping companies.
Just introduced that on government/port tax.
No, I don't think they have.
And then you still pay your terminal operator, you still pay the government taxes. But let's
they are service provider. Maybe I should clarify this. These are shipping company. They are service providers.
Okay.
Up to the point that the freight you paid, drop your cargo to Nigerian port.
Okay.
Now,
so you have a problem with that?
Yes. Let me try to. I think I differ a lot from his own perspective. When I said Nigerians who don't operate with laws, I'm very correct. We have a concession agreement. Is it backed by law? We have the value computation on the vehicles. Is it backed by law? We are using ex-factory price. Ex-factory price has been annulled all over the world. Ex-factory price is a BDV, Brussels definition of value, which has been outlawed. What we have is transaction value, which is not imposed. And transaction value is based on 6 principles. and is covered under Custom and Excise Management Act 20 of 2003. And is it being applied in the port? What you have there is purchase prices for cars. That is what you have all over the world. What we have here in this country is ex-factory price. Ex-factory price is a static price. It does not accommodate the 6 principles of assessment of import duty. And when you are talking about